station. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
Broadcasting live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. It's time now for the Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, the fastest growing podcast in the nation. New Jersey native Aaron Phillips is the voice of Las Vegas and an inductee into the Las Vegas Entertainment Hall of Fame. And Boston native Neil Portnoy is an internationally recognized artist and illustrator with his acclaimed studio in the heart of Las Vegas. Together, they are the Twin Brothers from Different Mothers.
Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. I am Aaron Phillips, the voice. And of course, sitting with me here at the dais. This is no longer a desk, this is no longer a table, this is a dais.
You're bilingual.
I am. I don't know what day it is, but it is a day. Neil Portnoy joins us here at the dais. How are you, sir?
Tremendous.
And I want to introduce Batman sidekick Robin joins us today on the couch, another step brother from another mother's Batman. Robin?
I finally figured out how to use these things. So do I have it on right? I'm not sure.
I don't know, but you look like the Lone Ranger. Do we have a camera on Johnny there? There he is.
Oh, yeah. I finally figured out how to use this.
Well,
Right.
there is a tutorial. In
A
how
what?
to use,
A what?
A tutorial.
What's it?
Tutorial?
A
Isn't it
tutorial. What do you? That's a tutorial.
Isn't it supposed to be 4 syllables?
No, it's. Listen. I'm from Massachusetts. But,
Tutorial.
yeah, one of them. It shows you how to use
A mask,
a mask.
right?
So you're saying I have it on wrong?
A little lower, please.
You're saying I have it on wrong?
Tee it up again.
That's it. With that, though, we want to welcome everybody to the Mother's Day edition of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Before we go any further, we want to wish everybody out there who's a mother on any level, single mother, whatever. If you have mother in your title, happy Mother's Day from all of us here. And you can see our area is decorated with balloons and stuff and flowers for Mother's Day, courtesy of...
Words mother, right?
That's correct. Mother Teresa, Mother, whatever other category you want to fall into.
Mother,
of course, we know there's dads.
Mother F thing. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, you can
We
be
know
whatever.
there's dads as fathers. Right?
Correct.
Dads as mothers, and
I know what
mothers
you
as...
meant.
I don't know.
I knew what you meant.
Anyway, hey, a couple of things I want to share before we get started with a couple of hot topics. Hashtag Twin Brothers. If you're on Twitter, tweet us, because as you can see right now on your screen, live tweets will be visible live during the show. I sent one out earlier just to make sure that it works, and it does. And so go to Twitter, hashtag Twin Brothers, okay? And your message, whether you have a question, a comment, we got a lot going on today's show. Coming up in a little bit after our first break, a gentleman we've had, a gentleman, and I use this word loosely because I know he's sitting right behind me, but he is a gentleman who's been with us in the past, Mr. Rob Goldstein.
Very excited to have Rob back.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Absolutely.
What's going on in the world. Hey, I just want to throw a quick plug in.
Yes.
Before we even get going, if we can get the camera on me. We now have Twin Brothers from Different Mothers coffee mugs available for purchase. $20 on Portnoy, PORTNOYED.com. Support the show, support Las Vegas Entertainment. Twin Brothers from Different Mothers mug. And if you look real closely with a magnifying glass, you can see our stepbrother in the grass in the
Yes.
skyline below
I'm hiding
us.
behind the skyline.
Right.
That's right. He's flying above it. Anyway, so Portnoy.com. Check out Twin Brothers and all the fabulous entertainers that are on there to try to be supported. Johnny Bird's got a mug. Aaron Phillips has a mug. But Twin Brothers from Different Mothers mug is out there for all your collectibles. Also coming up in the second half of the show, we introduced this organization last week when Teresa Mala was on with us, and this is the Blues Against Hunger Society. Sixx and Sweet Pack, by the way, they do sound like a band. I know they play. There's a picture of them. Blues is the answer. Music and meals heal. They have multiple locations of this organization, and they are coming to Las Vegas. So the founders, Sixx and Sweet Pack, will be joining us in the back half of the show via remote satellite. That sounds really official, doesn't it? And then, of course, who knows what else we're going to have. Callers, comments in the chat room. We've got you all in there. I believe, I don't know if the phone is rung yet. I know Aaron's been controlling the phone board. But before we get any callers coming in, hopefully you can pop up that phone number. Check out the new crawl that's at the bottom of our screen now. Check out some headlines and news, and hopefully they're going to pretty much stick to entertainment-style things so that they're things you want to know. But there's our numbers if you're outside the United States, 855-502-4321. 855-502-4321. If you're within the United States, 702-329-6947. And don't forget, twinbrothers.vegas website is on its way. All right, here we go. You want to start on the sad news first and work our way back up the other way?
Yeah, let's get it out of the way.
All right. Las Vegas icon entertainer Roy Horn, Siegfried and Roy, passed away yesterday at the age of 75 from complications from the C word.
Complications. Not a healthy person to begin with.
Not since the attack, right?
Right, had a lot of medical issues. Just like anything else, when you get a virus, just leave it at that, and your immune system cannot handle fighting it off, it's not a good situation. Our condolences to the entire family of the legendary performer here in Las Vegas, who actually was one of a few people who made this city. Very well respected, extraordinary human being. I don't have all the accolade words that could be used, but again, our condolences to the family. Absolutely.
I mean, Johnny, I know you're familiar with them. Did you ever have a chance to see them perform on any of your other trips to Vegas?
No, I hadn't, and I've only been here for about a year permanently, and I came probably 10 years in a row. I never had a chance to see them, but I've watched video clips. What a loss.
Absolutely. By the way, Johnny looks a little dark because we did not pay that half of the lighting bill in the studio this week. So
no, I thought you were just saying that I'm in the dark anyway.
Well, listen, first step to recovery.
Actually, the hairdo looks better in the dark.
Oh,
you're just jealous.
There you go.
Yes, I am.
That is very true. All right, this morning, this one broke. Little Richard, 87. Woo! Exactly. Passed away this morning. He was ill for a couple of months. Cause officially is unknown at this point. But Little Richard passed away this morning.
Well, they say they come in threes. Who's next? It's just the way it is. Icon in the 50s and the 60s, tremendous hits, revolutionized that, that soulful Jerry Lee Lewis type genre. And
Tutti
another
Frutti,
loss,
right? That was his main song, right?
Another loss for the entertainment community.
Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, too.
Right on. One last comment I'm going to make, and then hopefully we've got a celebrity person that should be calling in a minute here. Raiders games for the 2020 season at Allegiant Stadium, folks. Don't go buying your tickets because there ain't none to be had. In about 12 hours, according to the website SeatGeek, tickets were sold out in 12 hours. You want to take you saw my note, but want to take a guess as to the average cost per ticket? It was the #1 most expensive ticket to buy on this site.
$3.2 million. Everything else is a bargain.
Per ticket?
Well, I'm just throwing that number out because it's my favorite number. No, listen, it's not a sport. You've heard me say that for years now. It is entertainment.
It's an event.
You're paying entertainment fees.
Well, how about an average price of $587 per ticket?
You get one hot dog and a Diet Coke.
And you have to bring it.
The
#2 most coveted ticket was the Seattle Seahawks at a discount rate of $458 a ticket.
Meanwhile, the New York Giants are giving away tickets for free.
I wouldn't doubt it. All right, also you can catch us on our YouTube channel, Twin Brothers, Different Mothers, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, and of course, Go Live Vegas. Now, without further ado, did we miss the call? Was it being recorded during our opening? We have him on hold, I think. I'm not sure. Johnny, I'm going to defer to you.
Yeah, we did have him on hold.
Okay, so why don't we go to our celebrity interview at this time, I guess, if he's ready to go.
Yeah, and I know he gets a little cranky. To Aaron E., a little on-air production message to you. Make sure you have the dump button. You have the dump button, because when he gets a little cranky, gets wound up, you might say some stuff that's
untoward. All right, he gave me the thumbs up. And now it's time for Celebrity Spotlight, featuring the voice chameleon, Don Tersini. Well, guys, celebrities have been clamoring to get on the show due to the popularity and all the hits. A couple weeks ago, we went over, I think, 60,000 views, and even some real Hollywood legends. We have Clint Eastwood that called in, and Jack Nicholson. Today's guest as a Celebrity Spotlight's no exception. You've seen him in Home Alone, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. He was Tommy DeVito in Goodfellas, and he's in My Cousin Vinny, My Cousin Vinny himself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Joe Pesci. Now, Joe, how are you, and welcome to the broadcast.
Hey there, Johnny. I'm calling from my cell phone. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. So you're able to get out and about a little bit now, go where you want to go?
Yeah, like I need someone to tell me where to go. No, I tell them where to go. You know what I mean? I'm headed to the studio, but I had to make a quick stop at the Subway drive-thru.
So do you have any plans on visiting Las Vegas anytime soon?
Well, I'll tell you, Johnny. I love Vegas. I do. I had a great time filming Casino there. You know, me and Bobby De Niro. Hey, I like those mugs you got there with the entertainers on them. Well, what do you call them? Hold on a second. I'm going to shoot through the drive-thru and get my sandwich. Yeah, you got an Italian sub waiting for Pesci?
All right, Mr. Pesci, just pull up.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Now, what's those mugs called?
They're called being Portnoy, and I got mine right here.
Oh, yeah, Portnoy. Well, I ain't never been Portnoy, but I have been annoyed. And I have annoyed a lot of people. In fact, one time, okay, during the filming of Raging Bull, De Niro got a little perturbed at me and accidentally popped me in the beak during a shoot.
That's funny.
Oh, it's funny? Well, it wasn't meant to be funny. So that's funny to you? What? Okay. All right, so explain to me, okay, how me being hurt is funny to you. You know, maybe I'm messed up, okay? But how is that funny to you? You know what? This interview is over.
Joe, I'm sorry.
I got you, you little bastard. You little bastard. I like to see the look on your face.
All right. You got me on that one. Now, people think that you are this angry, fly-off-the-handle kind of guy. Is that really you? Is that how...
You know, it's really not, Johnny. I'm actually easygoing. Very rarely, though I get upset. I'm just going to grab my Italian sub here real quick, okay? Okay. Tuna! I tell you, Johnny, they you at the drive-thru, okay? They you at the drive-thru. They know you're going to be miles away before you find out that you got They know you're not going to turn around and go back. They don't care. Who gets Oh, Joe Pesci. Okay, sure. I don't give a I'm not going to eat tuna, okay, you mother
I think we lost him.
Oh, no.
This has been Celebrity Spotlight with Don Tersini, sponsored in part by Birdland Productions. Be sure to tune in each week as we put the spotlight on some of the world's biggest names. Well, that went south pretty quickly,
I was
didn't
going to say, what a way to piss off a Jersey guy,
Oh,
Joe
man.
Pesci. Wow, but at least he called in.
He called. Listen, they're clamoring to be on Celebrity Spotlight on twin brothers from different mothers.
I can
Joe
hardly wait.
Pesci,
I know.
Clint Eastwood.
You
Are you
Utes.
kidding me?
The Utes, the Utes. All right. You will notice in our wide shot that our next guest is already sitting at the dais with us, Mr. Rob Goldstein. Give us 30 seconds and you will hear some great information from Rob. 30 seconds. Twin brothers will be right back.
THD is a cosplayer with two things on his mind: to get fit and to have fun. Now you can too with Living Dagger Fitness. Through Living Dagger Fitness, you'll train with a superhero to be a superhero. Using the timeless techniques of training, including Muay Thai and fitness kickboxing, you'll learn the health and fitness habits of your favorite characters. You'll get in the best shape of your life while enjoying the fun and excitement of living your character. To find out more, email THD at theherodrownslv@gmail.com. Live your character. What do you do when you're craving the best pizza in Vegas and want a fun family activity? Call Marsigliano's Pizzeria and more and order up your very own pizza kit. Kids and parents love the fun while creating your very own hot, fresh, and delicious custom pizzeria pizza at home. Call 702-9...
All right, welcome back to Twin Brothers. We had a little technical issue there with our newest sponsor, Marsigliano's Pizza and More, located on Sahara and Cimarron. They do offer military discounts as well. So anyway, hopefully we'll get that fixed. Okay, now, a friend of the show, because this, he's like our only hat trick. This is a third time for him. 3.
We upped the limit from twice.
Listen, he's got information I think's important to share.
Does he have money? That's all that counts.
But
he can save you money.
That's the idea. Yes, absolutely. Please welcome Mr. Rob Goldstein back to Twin Brothers. How are you, sir?
I'm glad to be here.
You're looking very good.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Feeling good. I'm feeling
Feeling good?
Yes.
Get right up into that microphone. That's the
Okay.
stethoscope microphone. There you go. So Rob is here today because with all that's going on, with all the strife in the society today, obviously with people unemployed and income and revenue and everything else, Rob is the man to go to when it comes to navigating these financial waters. So with that, what I'd like you to do, Rob, 30 seconds so we don't get caught up in the minutia. Talk with an overview style of what loans and stuff people can get involved with and if they should.
Well, there's lots of loans out there right now, and the government is giving away money. I'm going to keep politics out of this discussion.
Yes, please.
There are loans like the EIDL loans, which are great for people and small business owners, and the PPP program, which is helping you pay your employees, and then there's bigger loans for bigger companies. The hardest part is you need to know how to navigate the system in order to get the money.
There's no book, Navigate for Dummies, or no?
Yes, I'll write that soon.
Perfect.
Well, we do have a book, though, that might, for now, work until that book is written.
It's called Navigate for Dummies.
There you
You know, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Today's show is really about everyone should take advantage of a good financial crisis.
How? The word I would ask is, how do we take advantage of the crisis that we're involved in right now?
It's a good thing you know me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, there are great offers from the banks to waive, not to waive funds or waive debt or defer debt, negotiate debt. There are programs out there that are available to people.
Let me ask you this, because I understand there are programs out there, but for the Navigate for Dummies like me, is it best to contact someone like you who knows how to go through the red tape? Because most people, for instance, the entertainment community here in Las Vegas, the Actors Fund, they've done a number of different events and the money goes into the Actors Fund. But trying to negotiate, you got to show them 3 years of back taxes, give up your second born, all of that stuff that people don't get, and they get frustrated and leave. Going to you would make it much easier.
Oh, yes.
How?
I couldn't have said it better.
How?
Because we know how to navigate the system. We know what the banks are looking for. We know what you can probably achieve.
So if I'm out there and I say, listen, I'm in trouble. I need help. I've got to get some rev. I've got a family. I've got a business to run. How do people, is there a number? Is there an email? How would they reach out to you to at least get an inquiry in with you to find out what you do, who you are, and how you can help?
Well, my phone number is 702-701-2992.
And you will give them what help? I mean, I'm a layman. I come to you and say, Rob, here's my situation. Advise me what your fee to do that. Go from there.
I know he likes jumping the shark a little bit, but I think some of the questions that we've got may answer that as we go along the way.
Perfect.
So can we do that?
But
You know
he is asking great questions.
No, absolutely. But I know
You told me it's Rob, and what he gave you, you got to make it a abridged edition. And I was very good in high school with the trot. I never read a book. I read the trots. So I kind of looked at this, quickly summarized, and said, all right, 2 questions, give it to him.
All right, so here's the thing to think about it, because I'm facing this now too, obviously with limited funds coming in. How do you decide what to pay? Because I'm sure everybody's facing that now. Prioritize. Where are we looking at?
Well, most people's biggest expense is rent or mortgage. Now,
Of course.
The banks will defer mortgage payments if you know how to get through the system.
Okay.
The banks they're supposed to be doing it. They basically say no.
Okay.
And what you have to do is know how to get through the system and come up with a game plan to defer the payments.
Okay.
Well, let me ask a question, an addendum to that. Let's say you have an interest rate of X, and that interest rate is now much lower at Y. is there a way to go to that mortgage company, even though you may or may not qualify for a refi? Is there a way to navigate that system?
That word or terminology is called loan modification.
Correct. Is it
And
possible?
It's very possible, and I'll tell you that in all my years, and I've been doing this for 30 years, I've been doing loan mods before it became fashionable after the mortgage crisis, which was over 10 years ago.
Correct.
But I've never lost a loan mod. I've never not got a loan mod for somebody that wanted to get a loan mod. There's some people that want to go through the system just to work the system and say
Even
that.
though they may not qualify.
It's not about qualifying credit-wise. It's the opposite. It's about lowering your payments and being struggling to make your payments.
Sure.
And right now, loan mods are a great thing to do. We should be doing a lot of loan mods because you can lower your interest rate from 5 or 6% down to 2 or 3%.
I mean, somebody asked me once, how's your credit? I looked at him and said, excellent, I owe everybody.
There you go.
You're an equal opportunity offender.
Right.
So what are banks saying they're doing, but they're not? What are things that we should not be fooled about when talking to banks?
They put a lot of walls up.
Okay.
So you have to know how to get through the system and go to the right departments.
So it's all what you know, who you know, how to
Yes.
navigate, like you said.
You know, interesting. We had a client that it took us 3 months to get through the bank with sending them a power of attorney, then a new power of attorney, then another power of attorney, then
Right.
a power of attorney for the power of attorney. I mean, they put up roadblocks, but we get through the system. I don't take any.
No, I know you don't. You
I
take
don't
no gruff.
I don't take any crap from the banks.
I've seen you work with these folks.
Now, is there a percentage fee on that you charge? How's your fee structure for someone?
I
that-
charge a flat fee for loan mods.
Okay.
And it's a very low flat fee, and it's also I spread that over probably 3 or 4 months, and during those times they don't pay their mortgage,
Right.
so to pay me is cheaper than paying a mortgage, and I can get the mortgages, I can get the rates lowered, I can get the payments lowered, and also there are times I can get the principal amount lowered.
Great.
Especially because in today's world, your value of the property may have dropped. I'm not going to cite real estate economics here
Sure.
today,
Yep.
and because I don't really know what's out there as far as what the values are, but I will tell you that you can drop your principal amount and save money on that too, and I'll work on a percentage on that as
Now,
well.
I'm cheating on my notes here, and we talk about what's a good time to financially clean house.
I'm doing it now.
8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I was thinking
Now
about.
is a really a great time. You
I-
should.
yeah.
And I'll tell you something honestly. I did that for myself. I took a look at my portfolio of economic, who I owe, and I lowered my monthly overhead by X amount of dollars because I knew that I could defer payments here and defer payments there, get reductions in other places.
Is it wise to defer not knowing what the future holds?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Because if you're deferring it, allows you to skip 2-3 months worth of payments, and they just add it to the back of the loan.
Right.
So there's no red tape to deferring.
And
You could defer
most,
very easily.
most people don't hold on to the loan for the 30 years they move as
but
well, right?
But you could defer credit card payments. You could defer
Student
car,
loans.
car payments. Oh, student loans is another word. I would love to be able to get a student loan client right now, especially student loans that are private student loans where classes weren't given, and I can help people get rid of student loans. I got rid of a student loan for somebody a couple of months ago. He owed $150,000, and I got rid of it completely because of an illness.
We'll talk because my
But-
wife has 2 loans. One is for my daughter, and then my wife still has one that we're paying. And they have deferred our payments, one of them 6 months, one of them 3 months, but we've got deferments on those
But
during this time.
if you don't know how to properly defer the payments, they will sock it to you on the interest rate. I could lower the interest rate. I could also get rid of student loans at a discount, generally speaking. I mean, sometimes they can go away.
Okay.
But at a discount, I even know how to get rid of student loans in a bankruptcy when people say they can't.
How about ex-wives?
Oh, geez.
No, I just had to throw that in.
In the chat room, our friend Teresa Mala puts a comment in there that her 2 cars are financed through Honda Finance, and they extended their loans for 2 months with no payments for May and June. She's just sharing that.
That's easy to do.
Right. And do it if you can, right?
Absolutely, it doesn't
Something is
cost you
better
any
than
money.
nothing. Something's better than nothing.
It doesn't cost you any money, and right now, where a lot of people are getting less money, so it allows you to breathe, not worrying about all the money you're paying out. Like I said, I did a few of those for myself that I could do. You could negotiate credit cards. Oh my God! I mean,
Now, what about on the mortgage? You know, for instance, will deferred payments affect your credit score?
no,
Not at all.
no, not at all. The agreement may be between you and the bank. It should not affect your credit score. If it does, I could fix that with word credit repair.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because one of those student loans that we deferred, I got a notice through one of our credit score things that we're on, and my wife's score dropped about 11 points, and I went on to see why, and even though we're deferred in one of those student loans, they charged us interest. So the balance went up, got reported, and she lost 11 points on her credit
That's
score.
crazy.
And when we deferred it, they said that would not happen.
Well, probably your debt ratio went up, and so
Just a little bit. I mean,
it shouldn't have gone up, and I could probably get that off.
Okay.
But the debt ratio, what happened was you owed more money, and so when you owe more money, the scores go up. Of course, when you owe no money, the scores
Right.
don't go up either. You know,
That's true.
I mean, the scores went down.
Right.
But even when you don't owe money, the scores go down. And I always say, like dealing with the credit reporting agency is like fighting with your wife or your ex-wife.
Or ex-wives,
Okay.
plural. Go ahead.
You can't win.
No.
Okay. You just if you owe no money, then they ding you for having too much credit available and being a risk. And if you're leveraged, and therefore your score goes down. So there's a trick, and I explain that all in my book called Debt for Dummies, right?
No, it's not called debt for, it's called taking, turn it to me. It's
taking
called taking charge,
Taking charge of your debt and credit.
and that's available on Amazon.com.
It's available on Amazon.com. And
Twin Brothers from Different
I'll
Mothers
tell you one
web
thing.
store.
This works better than the Xanax. You read 3 pages. You read 3 pages. You're bored to death. You're asleep for hours.
If you have a question, you have a couple of ways you can do that. Simply send us a tweet, #Twin Brothers. Your question will come up live on the screen. We can share it with Rob. Of course, you can always call us if you're outside the local area of the United States, 855-502-4321, 702-329-6947 for those of you who are in the U.S. And of course, we are monitoring the chat room, so if you have any questions or comments that you'd like us to pass along for Rob to comment on, now is the time, and it's also a time again to please reshare your phone number and or email so people can contact you direct, please.
My phone number is 702-701-2992, and that rings directly to my phone.
How do you answer the phone? Do you answer your company name or you?
I answer, this is Rob.
Okay, good.
Does your assistant answer it for you?
No, this
No,
one
she
doesn't.
doesn't. Okay.
Actually, I'll tell you honestly, that phone is a second line on my cell phone.
Gotcha.
My cell phone has 2 lines on it. I answer every phone call that comes in because they could be great calls for clients. They could be great calls from creditors for clients who I'm going to make a settlement
Sure.
with and
Absolutely.
earn a dollar.
So I've never heard this thing, what is it, differing and waiving or deferring?
Deferring.
Is it, so deferring we know is putting the payments on the back end, right?
Yes.
And waiving is totally,
When you can negotiate deals with everybody, by the
Okay.
way, and you can negotiate your landlords to waive 2 months payments or 3 months payments.
Mhm.
It's possible to do that because you can.
what about with private landlords? Or like I'm renting a townhouse from somebody. If I
I
had,
love-
thank God I haven't had an issue, but if I had, are they more likely to help versus an apartment complex?
Yes.
Okay.
Because private, you're dealing right with the direct person rather
Okay.
than going through a
And
system.
again, how do you defend yourself against them? And are they allowed to harass you during a global pandemic like we have?
They can't harass you, but if you hire me, I give a cease and desist that, along with my power of attorney, that prevents them from calling you. They'd be breaking the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
Got it. And that was recently, or is that an act that's been
That's
intact for a while?
For as long as I've been doing this, which is 30
I'm going to ask you to hold up
over
on that.
30 years.
We actually have a caller on the line. Caller, thank you for calling Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's Richie.
Richie!
Calling from St. Paul, Minnesota.
How are you, buddy?
And good.
Say hi to Rob.
I actually have a question for Rob.
We were talking about Minnesota earlier.
Yeah.
We were.
Rob, I was an evil financial aid director for the oldest university in St. Paul, Minnesota. And my concern at the time, I retired back in 2005. I'm 72 years old now, but retired medically. But plus loans, why I would advise parents, and it doesn't have to be, if it's parents, it could be the either parent of record, even if parents are divorced. I used to tell deadbeat dads who said, hey, I'm done by the time I'm 18. The kid's 18. I don't have to contribute. And he would say, hey, listen, Daddy, you owe this kid some other help, plus loan. He's going to take one of them private loans. Then he'll be fine. I always said, take a plus loan, from the direct loan program. And the reason for it, deadbeat daddy, if you're really a deadbeat, is the fact if you sneeze or get sick, you can get, as Aaron just mentioned, deferment. So I want to have you talk a little bit more about deferments in the Valuable Plus loan without going overboard for parents who need to finance or help finance a kid's education.
Thank you, Richie, for your question as always, my friend.
Okay, buddy.
Thanks.
Talk to you later.
My turn.
Yes?
Well,
I
Richie.
had to say goodbye to our caller.
Okay. Well, first of all, you can get deferments on all the types of loans, even if it's a Parent Plus loan.
What's a plus
I'm
loan?
I'm not a great advocate of a plus loan,
It's called a Parent Plus loan.
but I've negotiated settlements with them many times. But that's where your parents are co-signing for you on a.
Got
on
it.
a-
we
on
have
a
one of those for
student
my
loan.
daughter.
Yep.
So it's basically if your daughter becomes or your child becomes, they become a deadbeat.
It
They
comes
still
us.
go after you.
Sure.
I had a client that the client himself, I got him out of a loan. I got him out of the loan where his father co-signed, and I got him out of a loan where his grandfather co-signed. I got them all of them. I negotiated it to about 25 cents on the dollar.
Jeez.
But when you're dealing with a co-signer, it's just another like a co-guarantor.
I got a question for you because this happened with myself. I took out a business loan a number of years ago, 2008, when the economy hit and everything was in trouble, and basically business-wise lived on my credit. When I negotiated a reduced X amount percentage on the dollar, a year later, I got a notice from that institution that I owed tax money on it because for the full amount, not for the amount that I paid. How does that work?
The infamous 1099-C
I got one of those too.
for debt
Yep,
relief.
debt relief. Yep.
Well, when you can negotiate a non-1099-C,
Yep.
that's hard to negotiate, but you can do that. But you should be able to write them off.
I told him I was a 501c3, and that didn't even. Listen, numbers and letters. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm not going to talk about how to beat the IRS, but I will tell you this: that you should be able to write off losses against that.
Okay.
So when you write off losses against that gain, because you are gaining money, it's a windfall for you.
Correct.
So if you owed $100,000 and you settled it for $20,000, you had a windfall of $80,000.
Right.
Of course, if you paid me, then there would have been less of a windfall. But
I just filled out one of those worksheets because of a situation I had last year in that exact situation.
But I will tell you that because you're negotiating and you're having struggles, your losses and your costs incurred are legitimate write-offs for that.
Okay.
As far as your comment about filling out the forms, this is why I think people should be hiring me, is that I know how to fill out the forms better and get loans for people because and get like loan mods and so
Right.
forth.
I want to encourage our listeners and our viewers right now. I mean, Aaron and I have kind of taken over and put everything out in our sleeve with our situations financially. But this is tremendous information for our listeners and viewers. If you've got a question, please call in. This is free advice
or
on the
tweet
show.
about it. We'll ask on the air.
Right. Listen, that's the way it works.
And I also want to mention we are aware that our next guests are in queue. So I just want to let them know that we're about 10 minutes away from bringing them on the air. So
And
I
speaking
just
of,
want to let them know.
of free information,
Yes.
Somebody calls me, they get a free consultation.
Great.
I will give them an overview. I'd like to talk about a subject that's maybe not on our free list,
On a preamble,
but we're going to talk about bankruptcies.
okay?
Okay. Because you're seeing a lot about companies filing for bankruptcy, big companies filing
Right.
for bankruptcy. These companies are filing for Chapter 11, which is a reorganization.
Sure.
So it's not like they're going out of business per se, although some companies do go out of business. But they're filing for reorganization, which is phenomenal. I think that almost every big business, unless they're flourishing, should file for Chapter 11 reorganizations. And that's really where I learned my business, was back in the mid-'80s in big corporate Chapter 11s.
And there are different chapters, 11, 13, but the big business, Chapter 11, why should they do it?
They should do it because they could reduce their debt and reduce their payments to be commensurate to their disposable income.
Johnny has a question from the couch.
I do have one question.
You turned his mic up there. There we go.
I do have one question. What are the financial responsibilities and the rules right now for evictions, foreclosures, and repossessions? And how long will that stay? Is there any safe zone right now, and is it going to change soon?
My guess would be that they would change soon, but for now they are on hold. Evictions and foreclosures are on hold. There are some exceptions, so I'm not going to recite all the exceptions right now, but I would on a personal call. But for generally speaking, that evictions and foreclosures are on hold, especially if they're government-backed loans, FHA, Fannie Mae type of loans. Car companies will work with you to a point they're easier to deal with, let's say, than the mortgages, but they are on hold. You asked about evictions. Evictions are on hold. And then you asked about one other one.
Repossessions.
Repossessions. I'm assuming if you're talking about repossessions, you might be talking about cars.
Vehicles, yeah.
Okay,
A lot of people can't make their payments right now.
You know, the banks will, if you ask, they will give you 2 or 3 month deferments.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now. But, you know, did you buy a car and have it financed by the like Ford Motor Credit Company or Toyota Finance? Or did you lease the car? Big difference. So when we're talking about deferments, generally speaking, we're talking about purchases. On leases, they don't have to give you much notice, and they don't have to give the car back to you much. They have less time to give it back to you. Then we're talking about repossessions. There's a whole other world about repossessions, and if the repoing company doesn't follow the protocol of how to repo a car and the notice they have to give you and the checklist they have to give you and how they have to sell the car at an auction type of thing.
I mean, the bottom line, Rob, really is, I mean, you're a plethora, you like that word?
Plethora. It's a double score word.
You've been doing great with words today.
Well, I
fountain of
played
knowledge.
Words for Dummies.
That's
The
a
best
chapter in
thing-
my book.
yeah, the best thing for people to do is to reach out to you. I mean, we could do a 4-hour show of knowledge that you have in this industry. One last question, because I know we do have our guests coming up. How long do you think, your opinion, okay, that this pandemic will affect us? And when do you think we're going to get back to normal?
Okay, before I answer that question, I'm going to go one more thing about repos.
Sure.
I know how to make a deal with the banks prior to repos and not have any dings or negatives or liability. I know how to return cars back to the lenders without affecting you at all. And the largest vehicle I returned back to a lender was a 55-foot Mack truck.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so there's a special way of doing it.
Was that
I'm not
in
gonna-
Enid, Oklahoma? Because
Yeah,
they haven't done that.
it wasn't Oklahoma, as a matter of fact. Actually, it was from Minnesota.
Oh.
Sorry, Richie and Johnny.
No, we were talking about Minnesota earlier. So I think, and again, this is not about the epidemic going on, the pandemic. This is not about that. It's all about the financial impact of the pandemic.
Sure.
And I think that we're all seeing a lot of changes in our lives, and the way we do business, and the way our world is going to be for a long, long time. And while my business is normally pretty stable and pretty good, because I'm the fix-it man, right?
Right.
The cleaner out of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I think that I'm gearing up right now for a big boom of business, because a lot of people are affected.
Timing's I mean, we're in a situation
Timing
where
is
someone like
everything.
you is a valuable asset to make people's lives better.
Real
Right.
quickly, contact information before we forget again.
702-701-2992. My email is rgoldsteinconsulting@gmail.com.
You had a final thought that was starting to come out before I interrupted you for your phone number.
Well, we were talking about bankruptcies.
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about bankruptcies, and just real quickly that because I'm schooled in bankruptcy law and I'm not a lawyer,
Right.
I'm able to push the envelope pretty far. I encourage people to call me to compare through all their scenarios. I don't advise them what to do that's best for me. I advise them to do what's best for them.
Good point.
And if bankruptcy is an option for them, I will tell them. And I will tell them how, what their parameters. Each bankruptcy is different, whether it's a 7, 11, or 13. They're all different bankruptcies, and they're all different criteria.
Right.
And I will help them if that's where they're going. But my specialty is helping people avoid bankruptcy.
Right on. Rob Goldstein, author, Taking Charge of Your Debt and Credit, right here. Available on, let's put a good view, available on Amazon. And of course, a wealth of information, folks. We didn't even scratch the surface in our time with him, but he covers enough to let you know that he will help you through and navigate pretty much any monetary waters that you need help with. Give him a call. We trust him. We value his opinion and his knowledge, and we want to thank you for coming on, my friend.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for having me back on your show.
Our absolute pleasure.
I love being on your show. For any reason to be on your show.
Well, maybe we need to do a little something here at the station. So
I love that, and we could be doing that. We're talking to your electronics guru.
to
down there,
Aaron E.
Aaron E. And we were going to do more radio shows
Good.
before. Maybe we
Yes,
could do
we were.
those. Who knows what? And,
We'll talk.
And who knows about our band? And
I'll have my agent call your agent.
there you
so.
go.
Did you have
My people know your people.
Exactly.
Neil, as always, thank you
Always
very
a
much.
pleasure, Rob.
Sei gesund.
Twin
Like
brothers
us.
from different mothers.
And,
Coming up
always pleasure.
next.
And oh, by the way, where
Yes.
do I get your mugs? Where do I find your mugs?
Were you not listening to the top of the
No,
show?
repeat it again though. Just in case.
Portnoy.com.
Portnoyed. Portnoyd.com.
Portnoyd.
Portnoyd.com is where you can purchase 99 of Las Vegas entertainers on a coffee mug, supporting the entertainment
Well,
community.
I
here
want
in
to
Las
buy. I
Vegas.
want to buy some mugs.
We're waiting for you. Just go to the site and order Twin Brothers from Different Mothers coffee mug.
Thank
Johnny,
you.
take us
Neil,
to break if you don't mind,
Thank
sir.
you.
I know I surprised you, but go ahead.
And we'll be right back. THD is a cosplayer with two things on his mind: to get fit and to have fun. Now you can too with Living Dagger Fitness. Through Living Dagger Fitness, you'll train with a superhero to be a superhero. Using the timeless techniques of training, including Muay Thai and fitness kickboxing, you'll learn the healthy fitness habits of your favorite characters. You'll get in the best shape of your life while enjoying the fun and excitement of living your character. To find out more, email THD at theherodrownslv@gmail.com. Live your character.
Hey, welcome back to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Aaron Phillips, Neil Portnoy, Johnny Bird, and Aaron E.
My
Wow.
credit score just went up just by listening to him.
All right, now without further ado, and we want to thank our next guest for hanging in there on our video remote, hailing from somewhere in the United States. I don't even remember. They've got so many different things in their bio of locations, I've lost track. This is worse than GPS. But we met them and we were slightly introduced to the concept because of our guest last week with Teresa Mala.
Correct.
The organization is Blues Against Hunger, and Johnny, I know you were a little bit knowledgeable of it because of Teresa and what we were talking about last week, right?
Yeah, I love the blues, and Teresa's fantastic. And I talked to them just a little bit. They have just an incredible way of putting things together to try to get some money for the folks in need. And I can't wait to find out a little bit more about them today.
And now the organization's coming to Vegas, right?
Coffee mugs. Coffee mugs.
All right.
Coffee mugs.
The Blues Against Hunger Society was created in San Felipe, Baja California, Mexico in 2013 by Sixx and Sweet Pack. Its origin is a beautiful and painful story that changed their lives and many others forever. It is a happy ending that keeps on giving. Music and meals will heal. Please welcome to Twin Brothers, Sixx and Sweet Pack. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Very good. Thank you
Right
for having
on,
me.
right on. Neil Portnoy there on one end. Of course, you know Johnny the Birdman is here on the
Yeah.
other end. There you go. He's got his
Thank
call
you,
sign
Rick.
up. We apologize that we're running
Glad
a
to
little
be here.
behind, but we thank you for hanging in there with us.
No
I'm glad.
problem.
We were enjoying it. It was a great conversation, very informative.
Did you
learned
I was going to ask,
something.
did you take notes?
We had time. We were just taking notes, yeah. We'll review them later.
Hey, talk a little bit about the organization. First of all, I love the blues. Keb Mo.
Oh, yeah.
I know Keb personally. Been to a number of his shows. You would think he's a guy from New Orleans, or he's from California, originally from California.
Crazy.
But talk about the organization, what you guys are doing, and how this all started. It's
Whoa.
Keb.
Well,
Those are a lot of questions.
That's quite a bit.
But yes.
We, I'll tell you just in a real quick synopsis. My wife and I got lucky, and we moved to Mexico early on, about 20 years ago.
Oh, they didn't have a wall, so you could get right in, right?
Oh,
It
here
was
you
easy. Yeah, they
Yes.
let us right in.
Drove right in.
Well, once we got here, we saw what was going on around us, and we came from the publishing business. So we started to publish an English language magazine on living in Mexico. So it grew quite a bit. And then in 2007, 2008, when the whole world imploded, we had to figure out what we were going to do with it. Well, we took the magazine subscribers, turned them into members, and started the Baja Good Life Club from that. And we did that for a long time, and we did a whole bunch of stuff, including walking to Cabo San Lucas. We built a boat out of plastic bottles to help with so we were doing a whole bunch of things to help the communities that we were connected with. And then we got involved in blues festivals. And at one point, some musicians that were helping us build that plastic boat, we were sitting there, the boat failed, and we said, now what are we going to do?
What was your skill set? I mean, listen, I'm going to build a house. I have no clue. Put a tool in my hand. I do the Jewish thing. I make a phone call. How much? When can you get it done? Done.
It's always back to making reservations with you, isn't it?
I mean, how did you get into this without, or maybe there was knowledge of how to build the boat, how to do a music festival? What's your background to get to where you are and where you got this going?
Well, my background is in fitness, and I did a lot of different types of festivals and gatherings of bringing people together. And Sixx it's done promotions and involved in publishing. So when we met, we kind of was perfect, because with my background and his background, we kind of just came together really well to be able to promote and put on events. And so we actually, how we got involved in blues is we were in San Felipe, and the Lions Club there in San Felipe asked us to help them put on a festival, which is currently Blues and Arts Fiesta, that goes every year. And 10th year, 11th year?
No, this is 12th year.
12th year. And that's how we got really involved in the blues.
So he started the beard 12 years ago when you got into this, and this is the result.
No.
That's only a 2-month growth.
That's a 2-month growth. Wow.
No, right. This last winter we did a tour, and what we still do is we'll bring down artists from the United States. We're currently in Mexico now, and we put together tours to raise food, and we do one every year. We're on our 7th year of doing tours, and this year was the first year that we did a Christmas tour, and we go to different cities with different blues artists, and we put on concerts to raise food.
So in Mexico, are you like a 501c3 or a Cinco, whatever the numbers calculate to? I mean, is it different down there? Or what?
Yeah, it is different down here. It's called an AC down here, but actually we are a U.S.-based nonprofit. We work because we work on both sides of the border. We put on organizations in San Diego and Yuma and Phoenix, and we've done 10 state tours 2 years ago, and so we put them on all over, but our home base is still Mexico for the last 20 years. And,
as I want to mention, we do have some pictures that will show up periodically that'll show some of the results and the people involved in some of the past events. So we'll be thumbing through those. I'm curious, in the introduction that I read, and it was just really, as you guys know, the first paragraph of your bio, which can be found on your website, which is Blues Against Hunger. What's the website real quickly?
membership side of it, the society, whereas bluesagainsthunger.org, well, since 2013. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I'm just curious because I was looking at the videos.
Okay.
And I saw you with a redhead, a brunette, and now you're sitting with a blonde. Is that really the same person? Because as an illustrator, when you go to redo it, I'll tell you what color to use. I have all the marker colors in the world.
What I'm interested in that paragraph is that you said that it was a beautiful and painful story that changed their lives. Can you just give us a little root background to what that means and the behind the whole startup of this?
Yeah, I can. We lost everything in 2008. We were desolate, and we were just wiped out pretty much. And we had a choice at that point of either starting our lives over and getting back into the grind and doing it all over again, or just take on the life that we knew we could afford to do where we are here in Mexico. So we stayed here and love it and found ways. And so what we started to do, since music was the background originally, not performing, not playing, not musicians, but promoting, we just started to bring musicians together and put on events every week. Well, eventually that turned into the Lions Club asking us to help them produce a festival every year. Well, the hardship came was after that in 2008 when everything went away. We didn't know what to do. And during the summertime in San Felipe, by the way, it's well over 100 degrees. It's really difficult. So on the year before, my wife and I decided we had no money. We had nowhere to stay. We were out. What are we going to do? But we didn't want to go. So let's walk to Cabo San Lucas.
Wow. How far is
It
that?
doesn't cost 850 miles.
Oh, that's just a stroll in the park.
Yeah.
I've heard of a 5K, a 10K. What the hell would you call that?
How long did it take you?
It took us
3 months.
74 days.
Wow.
We did it during the summertime. I lost 60 pounds.
What was what's the terrain? I mean, were you going over mountains, underwater? I mean, what happened?
Well, it's hot desert. It's Baja California, so it's
So desert.
Yeah, it's
and
like-
we had some roads as well. There were roads that we were on.
and we ended up walking down the Pacific coastline for quite a ways because it was too hot inland. We tried walking, in early hours, but unfortunately, there's only one highway in the peninsula, and the truckers take it over at night. So we got off the roads, and and it was just quite an adventure. But what we did was, because everything we did was for the communities, is we called it the Baja Walk. And when we got to a community, the community would get together. They would pay 100 pesos or whatever donation they liked. And then they would walk that first mile out of town with us. And that money would stay there to help the community there. And then we'd walk to the next community and just repeat the process
So
all the
you
way down.
reinvented yourself and created where you are today, which was brilliant, really. I mean, you know what? I have tattooed on the inside of my arm, one moment in time changes everything. And that moment in time changed everything for you.
Well, let me give you.
Uh-oh, we lost your video.
Uh-oh, technical difficulties.
Oh, and they were going to have a good
What's that?
point.
We lost them, all right, so hopefully they'll link back in. But I do want to share a couple of things with them that on their bullet list that they sent us. Of course, we talked about the society starting in 2013. We know where it started. Their mission statement is very simple: to produce blues concert food drives that promote the donation of non-perishable food while preserving the blues. Last year, the BAHS raised over 27,000 pounds of food, which equated to about 22,000 meals. That's pretty impressive. Wow. They should probably hook up with 3 Square here in town.
There's so many here. And, he talked a lot of similarities. We're the desert here in Las Vegas.
Absolutely.
Changing lives for other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Common thread. Johnny?
Yeah, I had a question for the twins here. Would you ever be willing to walk something like that? Or how far would you go for a
I don't walk
cause?
around my neighborhood. I can't. I got bad knees from baseball. But you know what? If I was able to do it, just like time is irrelevant right now, distance would be irrelevant. If I believed in the cause, I'd figure a way to get it done.
I would definitely now, it would take a little training. What I wanted to know, and hopefully we'll get him back, how many miles per day they average. I guess if you take 70, what was it, 4 days, he said? Divided.
Months, he said.
No.
Months. Yeah, it was
No,
months.
he said
Oh,
months.
74 months?
No.
I think it's like 3 months.
3 months to walk
Okay,
that
so,
distance.
so 90 days. Okay, so that answers my question for easy math. 90 days, 850 miles, let's just round it to 900. They average about 10 miles a day in walking. And now you're doing it in the summertime, right? And you're not going to be walking, that in the middle of the day. You got to be careful. But that's.
Well, he had a choice. He could have had a sleeve operation like you, or he could walk as much as he did. You lost over 100 pounds. He lost 60 pounds.
No question. But it would still take some training to do to
Absolutely.
sustain that. And you know what, Johnny, to answer your question, I would absolutely work towards doing something like that. For me, doing that would be like almost doing the 5Ks that people use as targets to
Well, it's
eventually do.
also very therapeutic for your mind. If you, Johnny, I think you'll agree with me. If you have a goal and you reach your goal, do you end what your goal is, or do you create another goal?
I think it's always a moving target, Neil. And just off the top of my head, another on-air production meeting. Maybe we should do some kind of a walk this summer for somebody. Maybe if it's just across the street from Neil, because we don't want to hurt him.
Right.
But we should do something.
I think it's a great idea, and let's pick, our charity of choice to benefit and you know me and Aaron, we're all about the kids, and I agree, you're the same way. We'll pick something. We'll do it this summer in 110-degree weather.
Perfect. I love the heat anyway. I
Yeah.
come from Minnesota, man. I was in International Falls. I figure for every day that I had to spend below zero, I get 1 day above 100. So I'm good for the next 20 years.
Well, somebody asked me, you know, with all the sports I played my whole life, don't you play any winter sports? And I looked at him and said, you didn't realize I was a biathlete? I shoveled and I snowblowed and then retired.
All right, I just got a message from them that they're having trouble reconnecting on their end, so I'm going to just simply send them our phone number so that hopefully we can at least get them on the line and finish up and get some more information from them. Because one thing that I did mention that was shared with us with Teresa is the fact that they're bringing a chapter here to Las Vegas, and that's what piqued our interest. Oh, you're back.
We hear them.
We hear you, we don't see you.
Oh, I see them too.
Oh, there they are. Listen, your
that.
hair color's still blonde. We didn't lose anything.
I should have actually. I should have
That
set it
would've
up
been funny.
and got multiple wigs ready, but I didn't do that.
Well, in between, I saw you as a orange, like Bozo the Clown used to wear, and then there was a really dark brunette, but the blonde is perfect for you.
Just,
Oh, thank you.
did you guys have to put another quarter in the slot for your internet down there? or-
Yes, we
We
did.
did actually.
Hey, I want to ask you. You're opening up a Las Vegas chapter. Talk a little bit about that, Aaron. Is that what you were going to ask?
No, I was just going to let them know that I sent you, or it's on the screen, our toll-free number, that if it collapses again, just call us back in, okay?
We'll definitely
All right.
do that.
You can use the 855 since you're in Mexico.
Well, I can also use the 702 number.
Oh, okay. Well, that's up to you.
Yeah, whatever works.
Aaron would appreciate if you used the 702 number, not the toll-free number.
So did
we
you
do
get
that.
charged like $50 when I called?
So, in other words, you have dual citizenship with the phone company.
There you go.
All right, go
I
ahead.
said one thing to make an apology.
Chapter, go.
Yeah, it was mentioned last week by Teresa when we had her on that there was mention of you guys coming up to Vegas to open up a blues chapter. So talk about that if you would. And Teresa Mala is who I'm referring to, by the way.
Yes, we love Teresa very much.
Yeah,
She
Teresa
is-
Mala, she sang with us, as you heard when she was explaining her vacation for 2 years in Baja, in Rosarito.
Yes.
She likes to roll the R's really well. Exactly. And
It's
for
not a
sure,
rattlesnake.
She sang with us a lot. So basically what we do with Blues Against Hunger, and this is when we can get back to real life, is we put on blues jams and invite musicians to come jam with us, and then the audience comes and brings food donations, and then those food donations go to the local food bank or one of the local partners that we work with through Blues Against Hunger.
And we have them in multiple cities, and we kind of link them like a chain so that we can bring artists and connect. We're creating our own circuit. And since we have San Diego, we have Yuma, and Las Vegas is not too far out of reach, and we have Peñasco that we're working on, which is in Sonora, Mexico, as well as Tijuana, Rosarito, Ensenada, San Felipe. So we have multiple chapters, and we're getting, and what it's doing is it's helping us sustain communities or help communities that have more difficult times in the summer. Some of them, it's very seasonal depending on which side of the country you're in, and so by having these, it's allowing us all to kind of lift each other up, which is what a jam is all about. It's what a food drive is all about, So
I gotta ask you a quick question, a real quick question, because I'm looking at the Sixx and Sweet Pack. I mean, I look at it and I say, well, Six Pack, that was probably already taken, and Six, maybe 5 and 4 were already taken. Where did those names come from?
Well, for me, when I was a young kid, actually, I've had it my whole life, is my last name is Pack. So when I was very young, I had a stepfather who had a refrigerator full of beer, and one time it wasn't his buddy, was a beer distributor, brought him over, filled up the refrigerator in the garage with all these 6-packs of this great import beer at the time, but now I'm a craft beer lover, but back then it was Moosehead and Dos Equis and anything I could get that was not Budweiser. So I went in, cleared out the whole refrigerator, me and my friend cleared out the whole thing, went over to another friend's house, called up all of our friends, this is like 7th grade.
Big party.
Called them all over and we had a big party. And from that day on, I was called either Sixx, Pack, or Sixer.
That's funny.
I want to go back. While we were waiting for you to reconnect, we were having some math issues here. But before we do that, I actually have a phone call coming in, and unfortunately, I do not know who it is. But caller, we thank you for calling Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hola, amigos. It's Teresa Mala.
Teresa!
Hola.
The,
Oh boy.
balls are shooting out of his head right now.
Somehow Cinco de Mayo just got revisited here.
My goodness.
I just heard all the coyotes in the area started to howl.
That's right. They're all howling for Teresa's become our I guess we can call her our official mascot. I mean, she's our official beauty of Twin Brothers.
Yeah, because
Beauty from different.
First of all, I'm so glad that you guys were able to get on the show, Sixx and Sweet. I love you guys. But I wanted to say, because of COVID, the silver lining has been that we are able to launch Blues Against Hunger in Vegas.
Yes.
Because we had been talking, and I was too busy, and they needed a point person. So here we go.
Yeah, no, it's actually, there's a lot. There's
a lot that's come out of it.
Yeah,
and a very positive for us.
For the Blues
I think
Against
it's
Hunger.
very positive for our organization.
Absolutely. And yeah, so we're really excited. Trace has been contacting a lot of blues artists, and starting on Tuesday, as she said, that she's going to have a special blues themed show on her live on Facebook. We are then going to have the launch of the citizens that are going to join Teresa, and Teresa's going to introduce each of the videos and share what Vegas has to offer with blues.
And real quick, just so you understand how that works, is our entire organization, all the way up until March 8th, all we did was exactly what any band did. We just went out and got a gig, and then we would invite our friends to play and have food. Well, that, just the concept alone, the community of it brings people together. And when you do it, and it just really started to grow and take off. Well, last year, just with 3 communities in northern Baja, they raised 26,000 pounds of food for the orphanages in the region. Amazing. And here we are with the top of the season. We haven't been able to do anything since March 8th, the last one. And so we had no way for food to come in. We had no way to do this. So on April 12th, just like many people did, is we did an online Easter blues-a-thon, and myself, my wife, and some friends sat and broadcast for 8 hours with people from all over. And
well done, Sweet. I saw that, by the way.
But what was so great about it was it raised the money to buy the food.
Yeah.
And here we are. Last year, it was during the summer, 26,000 pounds. They're over 13,000 pounds right now, even during COVID. So we're already over half of what was done with live events, and we've been in COVID lockdown this whole time.
Teresa, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Teresa's still on the line, and I just want to reiterate with Teresa on the line something that we offered her last week. Obviously, with our background with Johnny and all of us sitting here, I mean, 15 years on Las Vegas, kick off, announce, promote, be there, whatever you need from us. Teresa knows that she better get a hold of us, or we're going to hunt her down.
Thank you.
Which may not be a problem anyway, but.
Teresa doesn't need motivation.
Oh, I know that.
I was going to mention real quickly, you know, we have Monday's Dark, the space here in Las Vegas with Mark Chinook, who raises money with his Monday Dark every Monday for different charitable organizations. We also have a brilliant blues guitarist, Chris Claremont, who does a B.B. King show. Chris. He looks like B.B., he sounds like B.B., and he's a brilliant, trained guitarist. I mean, there are people here check him out on social media. Chris Claremont, Clermont.
And Teresa, I had suggested to her, because she sent me a message, if there's anybody that I know, David Tatlock in the Soul Juice Band.
Soul Juice Band,
And she already knew David and had reached out. So, I mean, this is going to be a great thing. Listen, Teresa, God bless you. We thank you for calling in and being part of our show, and we
We
know
love
that.
you, Teresa.
Bye.
Thank you, darling. Teresa, we'll talk to you soon. All right,
Bye,
you guys down in Mexico, we have only a couple of minutes left before we take care of some other show business. But just give us a wrap. Now, what's the target date for Vegas, God willing?
Well, this Tuesday is when we are going to be launching, after Teresa's blues show, we'll be launching because right now we have on YouTube, we have our YouTube channel. So if you go to youtube.com/bluesagainsthunger, we have a 24-hour feed that's going with all blues musicians from all over the world. And so we're going to be adding the Vegas section to that. And then each week we're going to be featuring new artists from Vegas. And then Teresa Mala will be the host for that.
Right on.
So
Glad to
currently
hear it.
we're looking at Tuesday.
Well, I'm sorry, say that again?
We're looking at this Tuesday, which is the 12th.
13th. I think it's the 13th. And what time is that again?
I don't have the time right now because I'm working that with Teresa to find out exactly what time she's finishing her show. So then we would follow up with it.
And that'll be on her Facebook page. Is that correct?
That is correct. And we'll
Perfect.
announce it probably today. I'm going to chat with her today about
Well,
it.
make sure we get tagged in it so I can reshare it as well, please.
Absolutely.
We also encourage everybody to please go to our website, BAHSociety.com, and become a member for a year. It's absolutely free and we don't ask for any money, but we would like for you to see firsthand what we're doing and how we're making a difference with music, because music and meals heal. And if you become a member, then you stay in the loop with the family and you'll see exactly how we're doing it. And with any luck, by the end of the year, you'll find a way that you can do it with us.
Once again, Aaron, repeat that website we just heard.
Yeah, the website is BAHSociety.com, BAHSociety.com. Now, last thing I want to mention, if somebody does want to donate some funds in lieu of doing something else, I know on one of your sites I saw a donation button. How can
Yep.
people do that?
Absolutely.
Same site.
Same
Same
website
site?
/donation, or you can click on the top. It'll say donation and the page is available for you to donate.
Right
there.
on. All right, guys, listen, we're going to let you get back. It's almost siesta time, I'm sure, down there in Mexico.
You were waiting the whole show to say that.
I certainly was. I had that all lined up since 12 o'clock. So, guys, thank you for your service. Thank you for everything. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you down the way. Thank you.
You too. Adios.
All right, this segment with those guys was brought to you by Marsigliano's Pizza and More. They are conveniently located at 8125 West Sahara. Pizza, sub sandwiches, chicken fingers, burgers, you name it. Providing takeout, providing delivery, and I'm guessing providing some sit down. And they do offer discounts for military. Give them a call at 702-979-9222, 979-9222. We thank Marsigliano's. Okay, are we just? I know we went over again, which I'm sure nobody complained about because those are great guests. But
Let's just extend the show every week.
I would not
we
have.
do.
I would not have a problem with that. But I actually have a 3 o'clock call time. I'm working with somebody who asked me to participate through a script read of a play that they're writing. Oh, Catherine Natali, you know Catherine.
Sure I do. Yeah.
And Peter, Catherine has a new thing in line, and so she was looking for volunteers to help voice it and just kind of do a run through. So it's a Zoom thing. And it's 3 o'clock call time, so I got to make sure I give everybody plenty of time. But without further ado, all right, Johnny, my friend, I don't mean to wake you up over there.
You was taking a siesta.
I know he's taking a siesta. Alone Together premiered last night.
It did.
Right here on Go Live. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, great
Only
response.
if you want to.
Nah, it's no big deal.
It's a huge deal.
That's right.
No, it was great, and I thank you guys, my twin brothers from different mothers, for participating. I know you guys weren't singers, but you were kind enough to donate your time and put a message to everybody in front of the video. So thanks.
Our pleasure. I felt like the way Phil Rizzuto did in the Meatloaf song, with Paradise by the Dashboard Light. So.
In the last two shows that we've done, we've ended our show with Johnny at Portnoy.com mug commercial. I think today we need to end the show if we have the consent from our stepbrother here.
It's already planned.
Well, I knew that because Johnny would have said to me,
You're
already
just
done.
setting it up.
Johnny already done Bird. That's his new nickname. But I think people should definitely listen, watch, and purchase this in the upcoming weeks, month on Amazon.com and
Memorial
iTunes,
Day.
etc. Right?
Yeah, Memorial Day. It'll be available on the 25th, and we're going to be sending out to radio stations. I do want to make one very sincere apology.
Uh-oh.
Yes, and all kidding aside. Now, I got in hundreds of clips and videos and music and all this stuff to sync up. And I have to say a very sincere apology to my good friends Vinny and Vin A from the Bronx Wanderers. I'm going to fall on the sword right now. I used the wrong clip. I got so many of them, and after weeks and weeks of syncing and loading everything up, I made a mistake on the video. So we're going to get that fixed this weekend. We'll have Vinny and Vin A in a different spot. So my sincere apologies to those guys. They are so great. I can't wait for the Bronx Wanderers to come back online. And my kids absolutely adore them both, and the whole band, Nick and all those guys. So what you're seeing is the wrong clip. I wasn't supposed to use it in the video. That was my mistake, but we're going to get it fixed. I talked to Vin A last night. They're going to. I'm going to get it fixed. So my apologies. So just blink through that part. They're still great. They're awesome. They're some of my favorite people in the world. So this is my video for Alone Together. The message is still the same. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day from everybody here in Las Vegas. I'm Johnny Bird, along with Aaron and Neil.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
That everybody's struggling right now. Everything's a little bit weird. And a lot of people are feeling lonely. But let me tell you, you're not alone. Because together, we will get through this. Nobody's really alone. So if you're feeling that way, pick up the phone, call somebody. Call your mom or dad, call your son or daughter, call your cousins, call a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Because you know what? We're all in this together. And I hope you like this song. This is from Vegas with love.
This is Neil Portnoy from Portnoy Gallery here in Las Vegas. We are alone together. The world is alone together. It's time for the world to come together. With peace, love, and music, live from Las Vegas.
Hey everybody, Aaron Phillips here, host of many podcasts based here in Las Vegas, but primarily Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. I'm just simply here to send a message out to the world. Those of us here in Las Vegas, we love you all, each and every one of you. We pray and hope that you're all safe out there. You know what? There's things to be said about doing things alone, but not necessarily all the time. We can get through this together, and we look forward to the world, Las Vegas, your hometown, getting back to normal.
Go ahead, honey. It's all yours.
You gotta have fun. I mean, we hope that everyone is safe and healthy, but you gotta make this fun too, right?
We're having a good time.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Really.
We kind of like each other, so that's kind of good.
Makes it more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we hope that you're all safe, and well wishes from Las Vegas.
And come visit us when everything gets different.
Yeah. Come on down.
I don't do country.
Hello from Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dennis DeSachmo Keating, a Louis Armstrong tribute artist. Stay safe and well out there. From Las Vegas with love. Oh, yeah.
Hello, this is Darren, sending you some love from Las Vegas. I know everybody's struggling out there right now, and times are tough, but remember, we will get through this. We are alone, but we are together. Stay strong, and God bless you always.
Hey everybody, this is Mario Rosales. I'm so honored to be part of this project that Johnny Bird asked me to be a part of. This song is about love, about being together and loving not just the people in our country, but the world, and doing what we can to get over this pandemic. I love you all.
Hi, my name is Amanda King, and from all of us here in the Las Vegas community, to you, wherever you are in the world, we wish you love and send you strength and hope for a brighter future. And this song, Alone Together, is for you.
Hello, America and the world. The city of Las Vegas holds a special place in my heart. I have one of my luxury hotel towers there. But more than that, it's an amazing, amazing city. Truly an American city where people from around the world travel to experience incredible food, fantastic hotels, world-class gaming, and unparalleled entertainers. Las Vegas is an iconic place where millions every year create memories that will last a lifetime. The City of Lights will always be here and will welcome you with open arms when the time is right. People always say, I love Las Vegas. Well, Las Vegas loves you back. And that is why I'm honored to introduce this tremendous song from Vegas with Love.
When the sunlight hides your face and the darkness surrounds you and you reach out for a hand, it's not there.
Just know I'm here for you, like the footprints in the sand.
You're surrounded by a love that's everywhere.
So if you're feeling all alone, just pick up the phone. We can be alone together.
I'm just a call away. You can hear me say, let's be alone together.
It may seem that we are all a million miles away, and the silence can be so hard to bear.
Just open up your heart and let the music start, and then you'll feel the love that's everywhere.
So if you're feeling all alone, just pick up the phone. We can be alone together.
I'm just a call away. You can hear me say, we can be alone together.
There's a moment that we all can feel the pain. There's a moment that we all stand in the rain.
Just remember that it's always darkest right before the dawn.
And we're all in this together from now on.
Wherever you are, whether you are near or far, we are connected in this world, you and me. So let me hear you smile, and we can talk for just a while.
And this distance will disappear eventually. So if you're feeling all alone, just pick up the phone. We can be alone together.
I'm just a call away, and you can hear me say, let's be alone together.
Vegas strong. Let's be alone together. Vegas strong, baby.
Let's be alone together.
Let's be alone together. Oh, baby.
Let's be alone together.
Let's be alone together.
Let's be alone together.
Let's be alone together. Let's be alone together. Let's be alone together. Let's be alone together.